My name is Olakunle Makanjola. I'm a talent specialist and community manager at VanHack Technologies Incorporated, a company based in Vancouver, Canada.
Okay, thank you very much. But we all know technology has become a valuable aspect for any organization in this 21st century. According to statistics, a large percentage of companies are finding it challenging to hire the best tech talents. Yeah. There are tech talents all over the world, but to get the best is a challenge for most companies based on statistics. What do you think is the cause of this situation?
Yeah, it's not a one man's problem. It's a global issue, and I think it's a 21st century issue. A shortage of tech talent around the globe, and when we mean shortage, it's not. It doesn't mean that there are no tech talents everywhere, but finding the right talent for the right business is the issue, and now there are a lot of things going on. I will explain something about the open talent economy. The open talent economy now is a way of making HR industry an open source kind of industry. That means you can, as a company, you can hire from any part of the world. Anyway, this is still not an African kind of organizational policy. It's still more of Western kind of.
You mean outsourcing virtual staffing?
Not really virtual staffing, but basically
getting talent from outside.
Being open to hire talent from anywhere. It's not. It hasn't been this way even the last 5-10 years, but lately I can say in my experience, it's the explosion started, I think, around 2015. Yeah, a lot of companies abroad became really, really open to the idea that tech talent is the same everywhere, and like in our company, there's something we say code has no accent. Which is really true. If you are a tech talent, you are really good at what you do in Nigeria. You are equal to any other guy in Silicon Valley or any other tech hub in the world. Yeah. So let me not deviate from the point, but basically the open talent economy is what the Western world has embraced, and which has given them the edge over Africa in terms of tech talent recruiting. There's a lot of issue. There's a lot of underlying issue in Africa concerning open talent economy, because you have to first think about the pay. I mean, the standard, an average salary of a software engineer in the US is almost like a 1-year salary of an average software developer in Nigeria.
Okay.
So I mean, how many companies in Africa will be open to paying that much to recruit a good talent from outside? So, but I said earlier, open talent, shortage of talent, tech talent is not one man's issue, but there are some countries that have scaled above this issue, became open to sourcing the right talent from anywhere, meaning that We don't have to be sentimental about this. If I can't find the right guy for my job or for my business in my country, I have to look outside. So, the major cause of this is not that there are no talents. Is that finding the right one for your business, and that is a 21st century issue, because it's possible you be in Africa, but you are the solution to a business in Europe.
Yeah.
So the ability for the European company to find you is where the work is.
Okay. Now you've talked about this issue. So a business owner listening to you will say, "Okay, I know. I should learn to look beyond the four walls of my country, and start looking at the open talent economy." Yeah. So I want to employ a very good programmer, or I want to employ a very good graphics designer, and I want to look beyond my country. Or it could even be I want to look within my country. Fine. Give us the steps to take as a business before you, when you want to actually go for a good or the best tech talent. What are the steps that business needs to take to be able to achieve that?
Okay, there are few basic steps. There, even in local recruiting, there are things that you look out for. The technical capability of the talent, the behavioral capability. Compatibility. Okay. Yeah. Which is very key, because the talent is not the skill is not everything. The ability for the tech talent to work together with other people that he meets on the job, or that is going to be working with, is another key thing. So I can say the cultural fitness is also as important as the skill itself. So I talked about the technical capability, the cultural fitness, and also you talk about also your general wellness also matters in terms of when it comes to recruiting beyond borders. There are things that you also consider. You need to be very sure this person is fit, spirit, soul, and body. To relocate to my country to work with me, or to work on this business. And of course, I said there are few and basic things, but I will expatiate on each of them. The technical capability is very important, because this is exactly what's going to move the business from where it is to where your dream point. And then the cultural fitness also is one key thing, because you're going to be dealing with not just one person. You're going to be dealing with all other people on the business, and at the same time the end users of the business, which you have no idea what they can be in terms of numbers. Yeah. When Facebook started, he has no idea it's going to be used by billions of people. So, when you are as a tech talent, you are more like a digital artist, and you have to comply with a lot of things based on the geographical location of where you're working with. There are some things that may not be offensive in your own country, and in another client it's offensive. So a lot of all these things you have to put into consideration. But that's where someone, our company comes in. We are always like an intermediary between our clients and the talents. What we do, we do all these assessments. We go through all this assessment end to end. We ensure that for every talent that we are going to be recruiting for our clients, they meet all these criteria. You understand? So that you won't spend so much flying in and expat from another country, and in matter of 1 month, 2 months, you start having issues. It's a lot of cost on businesses. It's a lot of cost on companies, because sometimes what it takes to bring in a tech talent from another country could cater for about 10 local talents. Yeah. So, and in order for you, for the company not to run into all these kind of issues, we make sure we take care of that. We take care of that gap end to end.
Thank you very much. That's really insightful. That's really, really insightful. I think in Africa we are very used to the traditional method of hiring. Yeah. Come for interview, place your CV, send your CV to an email, then you come for interview, so you come physically. But I think the world is changing now. There's what we call virtual hiring and staffing. Now, what's your view on virtual staffing and hiring instead of the traditional method? Because if that's where the world is going, I think businesses in Africa should take note of that and start adjusting. So what's your view on virtual hiring and staffing? Maybe you can share the advantages and the disadvantages.
Yeah, I will start like this. The world is fast changing. The world is not what it used to be like 5, 10, 20 years ago. And if the world is fast changing and it's not what it used to be, then it means we can continue to deploy the same old method in terms of talent hiring. And okay, let me start with the traditional hiring. The normal thing is you probably, before the days of online application, you get newspapers, you find a PO box or wherever you're going to drop your CV, and then they're going to contact you either by mailing you also again and all that. The process is humongous. I mean, and a lot of opportunities are lost in this process. So, but now talking about virtual hiring, I think is the way forward in 21st century, and we are not just in the information age. We are in the fourth industrial revolution now. We are moving into the fourth industrial revolution, where things should be done in the same manner. Things are fast changing. Things are moving at the speed of light. I mean, even companies should also make decisions and policies even at the same speed, because the time it will take you to put out an advert there and wait for people to apply and screen and invite them over from wheresoever they are coming from. I believe if you deploy the virtual hiring method, you would have you can make a decision, or you can hire a good talent in a matter of hours, or at worst in a matter of days. Unlike what it used to be, if you remember, the traditional way of hiring usually take months because of the process. The minimum 3 months, some 6 months. in a country like Nigeria where you need to be doing something to survive, following a job process for about 6 months is almost not feasible.
Very discouraging.
Very discouraging, and so companies should know that for every applicant that show up in their interview, the same applicant has gone to nothing less than 10 other places to increase his or her chances. Because of he knows that this process is going to take up to about 3 months there, so I never can tell. Let me just apply to X, Y, Z, A, B, C places. So whichever one comes first is the one So companies should just forget it. There's no commitment between an applicant and organizations. So you shouldn't think that this applicant, probably he or she likes my company, that's why many are just looking for survivor because they have to apply to many places because of the kind of method we deploy. I mean the traditional way. Meanwhile, the virtual recruiting can solve this problem in matter of hours or in matter of days. All you just need is someone fill a job application online, get an instant response by mail to book an appointment, either by Zoom, Skype, Google Hangout, a lot of many tools out there. WhatsApp, even that WhatsApp call that can be scheduled in matter of minutes after the application. And even if a lot of people apply for this job, scheduling can make you finish up all this interview virtually in matter of hours or days at most. So I think companies, especially local companies, especially in Nigeria, should start looking in this direction because let's take Lagos for example. Lagos is one place that I've come to the conclusion that this is one place in the whole of the country that we should have more companies, working remotely because of traffic issue, population issue, and many other issues. Many talents are underemployed, under delivering in most companies. Many talents are under delivering because of the rigor of the stress they pass through to get to work and back home. So if companies start looking at other virtual means to engage their workers or prospective worker, it will increase productivity by a considerable percentage. It will save time, it will save cost. If for example, we have issues of traffic, power problem, if companies decide to shut down office for like 2 days, it's going to save them 2 days of not running on either fuel or something. Or you understand? So basically, I'm just saying that the virtual recruiting method is the way forward, is the way of the 21st century and the way of the fourth industrial revolution. This is the only avenue also whereby the open talent economy has come to stay. Okay. Because this is the only way companies in the US can hire someone like me to work for them, and we work without no ASUS. Yeah. This is the only way someone in Canada can hire someone in Nigeria to work for them, and without ASUS. Nobody is watching time when you resume, when you close. It's about delivering deliverables. It's about you getting a task and accomplishing the task in good time and with the utmost level of professionalism. Thank you.
Mr. Olakunle, I think one of the things companies are scared about when it comes to virtual staffing is how am I sure this person will be able to deliver? How am I sure this person has the discipline to wake up when he's supposed to wake up, because he doesn't have any supervision. So I think some African companies were like, I don't. It's better we watch this guy. It's better we watch this lady, and stuff like that. So do you think that can be handled instead of companies to take it as an excuse not to do it? Do you think we can work around that?
Okay. Virtual recruiting is one thing. Virtual working or remote working is another thing. I can decide to integrate virtual hiring in my organization, but I'm not so cool with remote working.
Okay.
So that's why I said we need to clarify that, and at the same time, I can decide to say, okay, I prefer virtual hiring and remote working, so I'm cool with it. I have all it takes to. I've put all modalities in place for this to work. It's another thing. Any company that must do this must have all it takes in place. It's not for everyone. And what I mean is you have to have all the necessary tools for you to manage a remote team efficiently. All the required tools, like there are tools that you use where you for collaboration, where 2, 3, 10, 50 people are working together seamlessly. Nothing is falling apart. Nobody's lagging behind, and everybody is on the same page. There are tools like that. There are tools for communication, where you communicate almost real time. You are seeing me, I'm seeing you as clearly as possible. If you have issues, we can trash it as if we are seeing each other one-on-one. And that's why I say if any company must deploy this method, it must have everything in place for it. And also, on the part of the talents themselves, the employees, I can say categorically that working remotely is not for everyone, but you can. Everyone can develop the discipline to work remotely, because this is the reason I said that. At every point in time, there are things that we can champion on our own. Either you agree with me or not. Some people might say, "Oh no, I'm not that type. I'm not the leadership type. I just want to get orders and I follow and do my job perfectly. I'm not good at initiating ideas on my own or taking up championing a task on my own." But that is not an issue. There are people like that. There are some people that can work with less supervision. There are some people that cannot work except you tell them what to do. But then I still believe that everyone can develop the discipline to work remotely if you really understand the benefit in it. And what I mean, there are benefits of working remotely and there are downsides to it. The downside of working remotely, if I'll go right quickly, is just that you might not have that luxury of having people to talk to every now and then, like we do in our conventional offices. And sometimes boredom might set in, which is inevitable because you are used to the usual way of doing things, waking up, going to work. You talk to people on your way to work. You talk to people as you're walking. Excuse me. And even on your way back home, you have people to... But remote working can be a bit challenging for someone that is not so determined or that is not so disciplined. Because you don't have all these luxuries of relating with people. It's strictly working on your job, and maybe when you are done with your task, taking time off to do some other things. However, I can tell you for free that most of what we do in our conventional offices, we lose productive time based on the fact that we have somebody to chit-chat with here and there and all that. It is likely for you, very, very likely for you to be very productive working remotely if you are disciplined. The type of companies in Nigeria or anywhere around the world that is not likely to use this kind of method are big businesses, where a lot of things have to happen face to face and all that. But sometimes I think for small and medium businesses, especially in an economy like Nigeria, where you have to manage a lot of things, expenses and cost of running and all that. I think companies should look at deploying remote working, if not in full, maybe some days of the week. Say, okay, Wednesday, Thursday we work remotely, or maybe one day of the week, or you understand. Just to, it's part of management, and it's part of reducing costs. And at the same time, it's also a way of teaching your employee some level of discipline. I mean, being able to work with less supervision and all that.
All right. So we're going to round up now with this question. Okay, talking about diversifying talents for an organization, do you think it's healthy for its corporate culture when you have different people from different country working in an organization, whether you're doing remote setting or whether it's conventional face-to-face kind of work setting? Do you think it's healthy for the corporate culture of the organization? Let's just talk about that one very fast.
Yeah, I would say this. The best thing that has happened to America tech ecosystem is the diversity and inclusion. That's the best thing that has happened. Think about it for 1 second. Mention any company in United States of America, any big company, any big tech or any big establishment in the United States of America that is owned by core Americans. Most businesses in America are owned by foreigners. I mean, what I mean foreigner is that they either immigrate to the country to become a citizen or whatsoever. Talk about Facebook, talk about Google, talk about the Silicon Valley as a tech hub. Is filled with immigrants. And that's the best thing that has happened to the entire future of America. Because, let me use my company for an example. We are like a 70% remote team, and we have some people working on site at the headquarters in Canada. But we have our staff strengths run across people from various continents of the world, virtually all the continents of the world. We have someone on every continent. And in my little experience, this has brought a lot of beauty into working, into the working space, where you learn the behavior and the culture and the creativity of some other people. And also, this has a way of impacting you with some behavioral fitness, whereby you know how to deal with people from any part of the world. But the most important part of it is the creativity it brings in any organization. And this is one thing the Africa tech space has never taken advantage of, and we are really lagging behind in this with this particular opportunity, because think about it. There's a way Nigerians think in solving any problem. It's not the same way Japanese think in solving the same problem. Let me give, for example, our roads in Nigeria. If we have a construction company in Nigeria filled with only Nigerians, the approach would be, we'll fix it, don't worry. It's a normal Nigerian way of doing things. Let it, it's just a pothole. Let it, maybe when it get wider, we'll fix it, But then, lives will be lost, businesses will be lost, job will be lost along that same place, economy will go down along that same route, until we later come up, okay, let's fix it. But that's not the approach of a Chinese person or an American or a Japanese person. It's damage, let's fix it immediately kind of approach. If you for example, if there is a construction company and you have a Nigerian, you have a Japanese, you have an American working on the same team, I bet you the Nigerian way of doing things will come into play, the American way of doing things will come into play, the Japanese way will come into play, and you build there will be a formidable idea, or there will be a formidable synergy way of doing things, because the average way of slowing down on things and watch can help in some ways, and the proactive way of another climb can work, and everything builds. And I've seen this at work. I've seen this play out very well. I've seen even in brainstorming session how people from other climbs come up with something you never imagine on your own. And this has nothing to do with their level of intelligence. This just has to do with their way of doing things. And your way of doing things will definitely impact your way of thinking. And above all, it helps you see things from a global perspective, not a specific local way of doing things.